we're back here. Top of the first inning, 1 out. Ukiah has a runner over on first. Membria points at the batter, ready to go. Swing and a miss. Runner goes for second, and Brown is in there safely. We're up here. Brown, good drive off of that. Nice day here in Healdsburg. Thanks for joining us. Had a bit of some technical difficulties. And another strikeout for Membrilla is she sits down James on 3 pitches.
They did a good job of changing eye levels in that bat. She went with the high rise ball twice and then kind of came inside with what looked like a little bit of kind of a cutter slider type of combination. It was a good pitch to get an emergency swing, which they said she went.
Membrilla back into her windup. That one is fouled off. Cleanup hitter for Ukiah at the plate. It is the second of the 3 players with the last name Brown. It is Anne-Marie Brown. She's wearing number 7 today, normally wearing number 26. Runner on second for the Wildcats. Membrilla back into her windup, and that is up high. Just getting access to everything, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, just making sure that we're not dropping any frames, that we're looking good. We are looking live and looking good. Membrilla back into her windup. The pitch, that one is just low to Brown. The catcher behind the plate today to complement Membrilla is DeMauro. We'll check on the Pioneer defense in just a second. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, bit of a lackluster start here on our end. So that one is fouled off. 2-2 now. Yeah, looking at the Pioneer defense from right to left in the infield is Tabarez, Sanchez, Parra, and Parra. And then from left to right in the outfield is Parra, Wirtz, and Olivares. So 3 players on Pioneer, the last name Parra. As there's a ground ball, too short, and Parra makes the throw on to first. 3 outs early here, and Pioneer is cruising defensively. We'll stay right here as we look at the Pioneer lineup. Batting order for Pioneer goes this way. Brianna Sanchez is followed by Naya Parra, followed by Bella Parra, followed by the pitcher in the circle, Mielin Membrilla, followed by, in the 5 spot, the third of the Parras, Ava Parra. Finally, the 6, 7, 8, 9 goes this way. Wirtz, Olivares, Tabarez, and DeMauro. But we'll look at the woman in the circle. They're playing natural by the Immaculate Dragons. What is it?
Yeah, I believe Imagine Dragons?
Imagine Dragons, that's what it is, yeah. Imagine Dragons, they're playing it, and she is a natural, a freshman superstar for the Wildcats from the north. Allen currently 4-2 on the year with a 1.25 ERA, 33 2/3 innings, 15 hits given up, 24 walks, 42 strikeouts. She has been electric in the circle this year, Julian.
Yeah, I think it's really impressive what she's done in terms of just being able to constantly hit her spots, keep the ball on the ground, and allow her defense to make plays all season, and giving her team an opportunity. Every time she goes out there, they feel like they have a chance to win the game, and that's really important.
That's a great day here. Healdsburg will get a bit of a check on that weather. We're in the easy up, so it's a lot nicer under here. Thank you to the Pioneer head coach for that. But high of 79 tonight for Healdsburg and a low of 49. It is currently 79 in Healdsburg. Pioneer, they brought their own speaker. They've got some walk-up songs. And it'll be Sanchez leading things off. She is batting .244 on the year. Here's the windup, the pitch. That one is up and outside. Taylor Allen on the mat, or in the circle rather, for Ukiah. Filling up here. A lot of tension for this game and the game coming. Newman versus Windsor. That'll be a fun one to stay right here for, as we'll have coverage of that starting at 7 p.m. Sanchez awaits. Pitch in there. Low for ball two. 2-1 now, the count to Sanchez. Piner, strong offensively. The pitch from Allen is fouled off, 2-2. First meeting between these two teams, it was Ukiah victory and a very convincing one, 12-4. But something we've seen that has kind of been consistent with a lot of the softball we've watched. The second time around, it was a completely different story as she fouls that one off. It'll stay 2-2. Piner flipped the script. They won 9-8. That was an incredible game and a game that you did not want to miss. And so now this is the rematch, and this will separate everything. Allen into her windup, up high, 3-2.
Well, you know, we always talk about how pitchers have the rubber arm in softball, and a lot of these pitchers are going twice against the same team. So being able to see that pitcher for a whole game and then seeing them another time around, there's certain cues that teams pick up on that they're able to use the second time around.
On the ground to the shortstop, throw on to first is in there. One up, one down. Sanchez grounds out there. Making the play was Rosario over at shortstop. And now it is going to be Naya Para, the freshman. She is batting .365 on the year. Para girls as a whole, all batting in the 300s, so they're an elite group of softball players for this Piner Prospectors team. First offering from Allen is up high, ball one. 1-0. Here's the pitch. That one is up high. Both teams in the Redwood, but school size doesn't really reflect that. Piner in the 1,000 range, and Ukiah has passed 2,000 in years previous in terms of acceptance. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Para thinks she's on it. Nice fastball there from Allen. Here we go. Para sits back. The pitch swung on and popped up. That is into shallow right field. The second baseman over on it, and she makes the catch. 2 down.
You know, despite the outcomes of both of these at-bats, the hitters have done a really good job so far of working the counts. Allen throws a lot of, she lives on the corners. She throws a lot of pitches on the corners. She's really good at hitting her spots up at the top and at the bottom of the zone. So making her pitch and trying to make her come in the zone and throw a pitch that they can drive is going to be really important and a key if they want to come out with the victory today.
Now Bella Para steps in. Sophomore, or actually a senior rather, for this team. She's batting .315 on the year with 4 doubles and 11 RBIs. But yeah, no, we've seen that consistently, you know, being able to sit back on some pitches and go deeper in at-bats has really paid off for some teams down the way, as we've seen that at all levels, both softball and baseball, especially with Newman-Windsor and Newman-San Marin, 2 games that we've done this year. Specifically for San Marin's game, San Marin sat back on Callie Howard and forced her into a 35-pitch third inning where they scored 5 runs. Callie, second time around, changed that. They won the game 8-1. But yeah, no, Windsor was kind of a similar story.
Yeah, in both sports even, it's really important to be able to control your weight in the batter's box and try and sit back and drive a ball the other way, because pitchers are so good nowadays at just mixing and matching their speed differentials. You're seeing fastballs, in this case in softball, reaching 60, and the next pitch is a drop ball on the outside corner at 40. So being able to sit back, drive the ball the other way is really important.
100%, and Para draws a walk on that one, and is now the star-studded sophomore who is in the circle tonight, Membrila, now steps in. She's batting .667 on the year. So 2 out of 3 times she comes to the plate, she gets on with a hit. And we'll see if she can come up big for the Prospectors here. Allen fires that one in quickly up high for a ball. 1-1 the count here. Allen at the belt, the pitch, that one is popped up. Right field, going back on it is the right fielder, Brown, and she reels it in. So pretty clean first 2 innings, or first 2 halves of an inning for both teams defensively. 0-0s. We'll head to the second. Stay with us here. All right, we're back here. Top half of inning number 2. Coming to the plate for Ukiah is going to be the pitcher, Taylor Allen. Star freshman, batting in the 5 spot today for Ukiah as she fouls the first offering off. Strike 1. Here we go. Allen takes strike 1, low in the zone. 0-2 now for Membrila. She points in, fires, fouled off. Still 0-0 here. 0-2 now from Membrila. Coming, she has that kind of compared almost anime-esque point before the windup. Very intimidating as she drops a drop ball in there and gets her to go. And Eric Sim swing and a miss there as she gets her to strike out. That is strikeout number 3 on the game for Membrila.
That's just one of those at-bats that's completely uncomfortable for a hitter. She's mixing and matching that rise ball and that drop ball, 2 completely different speeds. And in the back of your mind, as simple as it might seem as a hitter to just sit on a rise ball or a drop ball, one of those 2 pitches is always in the back of your head when you're trying to guess which one is coming next. And sometimes, especially in softball with the same angle, it's hard to decipher the difference between each.
100%. And, I mean, your hypothesis before has checked out. You don't need much more evidence than that. You talked about how you've got pitchers throwing 60 today in high school softball, equivalent of a high 80s, low 90s fastball in baseball from the distance that they are throwing at, about 43 feet. And, you know, those pitches are coming in, and then you have that 40-mile-an-hour drop ball, like you were saying. She shows off the heat there, gets strike number 1 on the at-bat. 1-1 now, the count to the third of the 3 last names, players with the last name Brown. It's going to be Kaloni Brown at the plate. Here's the pitch. High fastball. up high at the face. Ball one. Ball two, excuse me. 2-2 now. Membrilla points in. Comes center. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck her out again. Strikeout number 4. She is cruising right now.
It's been interesting so far. We've seen from Membrilla almost 2 types of rise balls. One a little bit slower, one comes in with a little bit more velocity. You got to think, we can't really tell from our angle. Maybe one is cutting or moving in a little bit, but the hitters so far haven't really been able to pick it up.
Well, with pitch analysis and man behind home plate, we'll have Paulo coming in for the for the Oak Championship game. He'll help us out with getting pitch analysis and stuff. But Julian is the pitcher whisperer here at Hugo Sports 360. He knows pretty much anything about pitching. As there's a ground ball up the middle, baseball in general and softball, as that'll check out as Ukiah's first hit. James gets on base on a nice piece of hitting up the middle.
It's a good job of taking advantage of that first pitch drop ball that kind of just stayed over the middle of the plate a little bit. She drove it right back up the middle, even though it was a ground ball. It does the job, does just enough to get a runner on base.
Now Mackenzie Roberts steps to the plate. Membrilla sends in. Aggressive base running for Ukiah against Domaro, as they threaten to steal there. Woman on first for the Wildcats here in the top half inning number 2. Coming center is Membrilla. The pitch, swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt, got her to go. 1-1. She has some great swing and miss stuff, Julian.
Yeah, that drop ball, that's just kind of that almost like a changeup in a way too. There's like 2 types of different pitches going on here with the same kind of category. There's 2 types of off speed and there's 2 types of fastballs that we're seeing, and the mixing and matching is just working incredibly good right now.
That pitch came in on a fiery pace. Another strike on a fastball there. Yeah, she has to be changing it up. We'll see. We'll go check if she's got a cutter or a fastball that she's mixing everything in. Membrilla comes center looking for strikeout number 5. Swing and a miss. She gets it. Membrilla cruising her way in the circle. 5 strikeouts through 2 for the red hot sophomore. We will step aside. And we're back here, bottom half of inning number 2, still 0-0. Piner gonna start things off with Ava Parra batting .341 on the year. Parra playing third base today, looking to continue her big impact season for her prospectors. First pitch is up high, ball 1. Both pitchers, it's been a pitching duel, and something to say, we saw some, less than great seasons from Annalee. I mean, we saw a great season from Rancho Cotati in the Oak, but not so much about Annalee. But, you see Ukiah and Piner looking really good. They've got a lot of young talent. They could end up throwing their names into the mix to get bumped to the open and maybe throw their weight around up there against the likes of Rancho Cotati, Cardinal Newman, and Windsor. Newman and Windsor, obviously, we'll see later tonight. But do you think we'll see that in the future?
I think one thing that's kind of important to note, especially in softball, is that pitching can really dominate. Especially as I mentioned before, the arm angle, it's really hard to tell what pitch is which and tell in between. So if both teams are able to build, which it looks like they are, a really solid and set pitching staff that can carry them through the season, where if they can just get just enough hitting, they'd be able to muster up some runs. I think that's something we definitely could see here in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, young pitchers. Rancho Cotati, very similar. They've got 2 star freshman pitchers who are looking to keep it up as that one is grounded by Para. Short hopper to the shortstop, throw on to first, not in time. She is safe. And Piner has a leadoff short hop base hit as now the center fielder Wirtz comes to the plate.
Yeah, you take it any way you can get it. Not necessarily a bad pitch there, just 2 drop balls in a row. They were able to pick up on it and make enough contact to reach first safely on that one.
And this could lead to a snowball effect for Piner. Ukiah does not want that right now. Just little smells of barbecue. Some intense winds blowing in, though, here in Healdsburg, as you get when you see the changing of the season, spring to summer and summer to fall, as that pitch is in there, swung on and missed up high. A little high cheese for you. But the wind is blowing in rather aggressively from left field. Runner on first is Para. Wirtz at the plate. The pitch outside, ball 2, or ball 1, excuse me. 1-1 now to Cambria Wirtz. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2.
It's interesting though, back to the open, how if these teams can make the open that we were just talking about. Those 3 teams that you mentioned have really deep lineups offensively, and it's just star power after star power after star power. They're able to drive the ball the other way, pull the ball whenever they need to. Situational hitting is one thing that's kind of been off and on with Newman specifically, but we've seen with Windsor, they've just been dominating offensively. So pitching can only take you so far, but at the same time, you do need to have some offensive production as well.
100%. We saw that a lot with Ukiah this year. They had really high offensive production compared to, when they not have defense production, they'd have the offensive production to back it up. So these pitchers can come in, specifically Allen can come in and be very confident that her offense is going to perform for her. As Wirtz struck out there, so now Olivares is at the plate. She fouls off, offering number 1 from Allen.
Well, that's important as a pitcher. When you know your team's able to pick you up, you can pitch a little more relaxed, a little more loose, kind of mess around with the pitches you throw and mix and match a little bit differently than you normally would, and that allows you to sometimes discover new things that'll work against tougher opponents as you climb up in the rankings, you could say.
That one is fouled off by Olivares. Here's the pitch from Allen. Another foul ball. Moving over on it is the catcher, and making a diving grab is Kaloni Brown. Act behind the plate. That's 2 outs. And after a leadoff base hit for Piner, a little bit of a road bump for them. Strikeout and a pop out to the catcher. But now Tabarez looks to back things up here. There's a fastball low, just missing on the strike zone. Runner on first, the pitch in there, called strike. So 1-1 now. Both teams heading to the playoffs next week. Divisions will matter on who wins. That one's fouled off. And, now everyone's back to their base division, so it becomes the new competitive equity kind of throws things for a loop. Newman expected to be the D2 number 1 seed. Windsor expected to be a high seed in Division 1. Not currently sure where Ukiah or Piner is. We'll check that on the break as Olivares strikes out looking, and that'll do it for the bat is actually not over yet, sorry. 1-2 there. They kind of confusion there. Everyone thought that was 2 strikes. Nope. 1 strike. So now 2 strikes. Now Zallen makes her way back to the circle.
I was a little surprised by the strikeout call there. I thought it was a 1-1 count, and then strike 3 all of a sudden. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, same. I was. That's why I was talking about the playoffs, but the break will allow us to check on the playoff projections from our guy Gus Morris. He's here out there, writer for the Press Democrat. He is out in right field taking some video for this game, writing an article, and also going to get prepared for Windsor and Newman. He's getting ready to check with to get ready here at his alma mater of Healdsburg. They checked back. It was a strikeout, and with that, we will step aside. Stay with us here. Going to the top of the 3rd inning, 0-0, still at Healdsburg High School. And we're back here at Healdsburg High School. Nice day for some softball. Strike 1 fired in there from Membrilla. It's that interesting windup, very scary for the hitter. The pitcher comes in, points to you.
Well, as a pitcher, you need to pitch with confidence. So whatever allows her to feel confident, feel like she's in control in the circle in this case, it's important.
Yeah, and there's a ground ball over to first. Going to be a foot race, and it's won by the first baseman, Tabarez. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Again, dealing with technical difficulties here. Sorry. Here we go. Now it is the top of the order for Ukiah. It's Rosario. She struck out her first time up. She fouls off offering number 1. So yeah, checking up on these NCS rankings, playoff projections. Ukiah is currently projected to be the 8 seed in Division 4. And Pioneer is the 1 seed in D5. Newman projected to be the 1 seed in D2. Marin Catholic projected number 5 seed. And number 6 seed will be Windsor. And another strikeout from Membrilla gets Rosario looking. And now it's going to be Zoe Brown up to the plate. All right, we're back here. Sorry. Audio difficulties there. So Zoe Brown out to the plate. 2 strikes on her here. Membrilla fires. That one is low and outside, trying to get her to chase. But yeah, the NCS rankings are looking really, really crazy this year for playoffs, especially in softball. A lot of teams that aren't eligible, so that provides a lot of buys for number 1 seed. So Newman will get a buy at the number 1 spot, comparatively to other number 1 spots. Specifically, Pioneer in D5 will most likely not get a buy with the specific competitive equity rules. 2-1 on the way. Outside, 3-1. And it's going to be a walk for Membrilla. Second walk by Brown this game. James now at the plate for Ukiah. Strong righty, tall and lanky, and she's looking to bring some runners home, try and break this thing open for Ukiah. Runner on first, 2 outs. Membrilla has been like the Great Wall of China today. She has not let anything out. As that pitch is hit on the ground to the first baseman. She'll tap the bag. 3 up, 3 down for Pioneer as we will head to to the bottom of inning number 3. We'll step aside. We're back here, bottom half of inning number 3. Ukiah and Pioneer still knotted up. Taylor Allen back into her 3rd inning of work, and that one is popped up into right field. In on it is the right fielder. Making a nice catch is Adams, or excuse me, not Adams. Sorry, Brown in right field. That one was DeMauro. Nice piece of hitting from her, but unfortunate result. Sanchez now at the plate. Here we go. Sanchez takes strike 1. She grounded out to shortstop her first time out. Here's the pitch. Sanchez offers a hack at it, fouls it off. 1-1 now. Allen deep into her pitch count. 40 pitches so far through 3. Here's the pitch. That one is low.
Pioneer has done a phenomenal job so far of making Allen hit her spots. They have not expanded, they've not allowed her to expand the zone at all in the circle.
Yeah, they've been really locked in at the plates. That one is cut on and hit foul. Sanchez awaits the offering. 2-2. Swung on and hit on the ground. Slow roller. Second baseman charges, tosses it to first. Out number 2. And now Para comes to the plate.
Piners had the right approach so far, despite the outcome of the at-bats. You know, Allen is a pitcher that's going to bring some velocity, and on most of her pitches we've seen, I would say about 80% have been that fast rise ball. So trying to take it the other way and stay inside out with the swing path is the right way to go.
First offering to Para is in there, called ball 1-0. That one is fouled off. 1-1. Here's the pitch from Allen. That one's fouled off again. Way more foul balls than balls put in play today, especially with these Pioneer hitters you were mentioning, Julian, there. Taking their hands to the ball on anything in the zone, but spitting on anything out of the zone. Still 0-0 though. Fouled off again by Para. 2 outs here in the bottom half of inning number 3.
Yeah, both teams have done a good job fouling off that rise ball. That's a tough pitch to drive and a tough pitch to even hit on the ground, try and get a little base hit. So trying to just hit that one foul and spare it is a good idea.
Another foul ball again, staying alive here like the Bee Gees. And we'll see what she can do. The freshman trying to start things up for the Prospectors. 2 down, the pitch from Allen, swing, and that one's hit on the ground to the third baseman. Throw on to first is there in time. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Prospectors. We head to inning number 4. Stay with us here on Hugo Sports 360 Radio Network. All right, we're back here. Piner and Ukiah. It's going to be the cleanup hitter due up for Ukiah. It is Anne-Marie Brown. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip on a high rise ball there from Membrilla. 0-1 now to Brown. Membrilla. Check on her pitch count in just a second. She's at 44 pitches through 3. Here's the pitch. Swing, and that one is hit on the ground. Foul down the third base line. Not much contact being made by these Ukiah hitters.
That was that 1-2 combo we've been seeing of the really speedy rise ball and then the kind of slower type of rise ball. I'm really interested to see, hopefully when Paulo gets here, that there's a little bit more of a different movement to those 2 types of pitches because no one's been able to pick it up so far.
Pop up in the infield. Shortstop comes in, makes the play. That time it was Naya Para making the play on the pop out. And now Taylor Allen steps in. Woman in the circle. Trying to have fine, I'll do it myself moment here right now. Here's the pitch. Up high. That is ball 1. Milan Membrila looking for strikeout number 6 on the afternoon. The pitch, swing, and that one is fouled off again. Good battle here between Allen and Membrila. The two pitchers facing off. Allen will pitch to Membrila in the bottom half of inning number 4. So we'll see how the first leg of this battle goes. That's a rise ball in there, called strike 1. Called strike 2, excuse me. A little bit of argument there between coach and umpire about whether or not the batter was ready. But as umpire reports, it has to be the pitcher. It's on the pitcher to be ready, not the batter. Pitcher has to be ready. So that one's fouled off by Allen.
Crazy with all the rules now we see in the MLB. If you're a pitcher and you come set before the hitter's looking at you, then it's the opposite, and the pitcher gets in trouble and not the hitter.
Yeah, we'll see that maybe in high school softball. There's a rise ball hung deep into left field, and it is caught. A nice catch made by the left fielder, Para. As one sister to another, they make the stops here for Piner. 2 down now.
It was a great piece of hitting, but Parra really got a good jump on that ball, took a good first step, and was able to track it down perfectly.
Here's the pitch into Brown, and that one's up high. This time it's Kaloni Brown, the catcher. Membrila steps in, she points. The pitch, that one's in the dirt. 1-0 now. They came to play today. Question that will be answered, Will Newman and Windsor, who will come to play in that game? Membrila, center, the pitch, fouled off towards us, and that is going to go into the street over there near Fitch Mountain School. Here we go. Brown steps back in, 2-1 now. The pitch, swing and a miss. Blew the rise ball right past her. 2-2. Still searching for strikeout number 6. Had 2 in the first, 3 in the second, only 1 in the third. Trying to keep the streak up now. 2-2. The point. Coming center at the belt. The pitch in the dirt. Tries to get her to chase. And there must be some change in speed or, not necessarily speed, but movement on the pitches, because she throws a rise ball that goes up high, and then she throws just kind of a low fastball that doesn't really die, but it's interesting. As that one is a fastball down the middle, fouled off to the left, and out of play.
Yeah, it's definitely something new that we haven't really seen in these past few games, even with when she throws kind of that lazy rise ball at the top of the zone. It has almost that same action. It's just like a few mile-an-hour slower, which is really throwing the hitters off right now for Ukiah.
Strong wind blowing in from left field. Membrila, full count now to Brown. She points. She throws. Check swing fouled off and into the street. Brown staying alive. 3-2 to her. 2 outs. Top of inning number 4, 0-0. Nobody has been able to get any offensive production. Here's the pitch, Membrila. Swing and a miss, struck her out. She checks out of the 4th. 4 innings scoreless for Membrila. She has been all over these Ukiah hitters today, and Piner is cruising after that strikeout. Great pitch there, Julian.
One thing we've seen all day with Membrila, when she hasn't necessarily located a pitch, or a pitch hasn't gone her way with the umpire behind the dish, she's come right back and just absolutely fired. She has not shown any lack of confidence at all, as she shouldn't. She's been absolutely dominating, and she's been using her pitches perfectly, and that's just been going with what works. And so far, Ukiah has not picked up on it at all.
Yeah, now Ukiah, they go back out on defense, and it'll be Taylor Allen's 4th inning of work when we come back. All right, we're back here in bottom half of inning number 4. It is the heart of the order for Piner, the 3-4-5 due up. It's Para, Membrilla, and Para again. To further clarify, it's Bella Para and Ava Para due up. But Bella Para is coming to the plate right now. She walked in inning number 1. Here comes the pitch. And that one is up high, ball 1.
Well, look, even though no runs have been put up yet by Piner, they've been taking some really good at-bats. They have been making Taylor Allen pitch a lot. And eventually, if they're able to draw some runners on base, whether that's via the walk or just being able to get in a hitter's count and get a pitch to drive, that's going to eventually lead to some success on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Clark's pitch count, she's currently at 50 pitches. Through 4, Membrilla is at 58, so definitely deeper at-bats for the Piner hitters. 2-0 now. Hitters count to Para. The pitch. That one is up high. It'll be buffet count. First one of the day. Both pitchers really have been really in control today. And, you know, despite 3 walks given up collectively, they have amassed quite a few strikeouts. 8 total on the day between both pitchers. Allen's 2 came in inning number 2. That one is in there, called strike, so 3-1.
Well, it's been interesting, too, because we've almost seen the exact 2 opposite styles of pitching. One is speed and then off speed after that, and the next one is just right back at you, rise ball, rise ball, rise ball. And both have worked so far today.
There's a line drive up the middle, and it gets into the outfield. A hit, Piner's second on the day, and a leadoff base runner in back-to-back innings. Bella Para, the sophomore, comes through, or the senior comes through for her squad.
Well, we just talked about getting themselves in hitters' counts, right? They've been having good at-bats all day, like we just said, the 3-1, as you call it, a buffet count right there. A nice job staying through the ball, driving it up the middle, and now they've got their hottest hitter coming up to the plate with a runner on first.
Yeah, and it's the pitcher, Membrilla. She's won the battles against Clark in both times as the first pitch is fouled off. She goes to run. Actually, it stays fair, and the first baseman is over on it. So one pitch gets Membrilla. Now Para comes to the plate. Ava Para looking to come through, bring her sister around the bases. Her cousin around the bases. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned earlier, Ukiah has 3 girls with the last name Brown. Piner, 3 girls with the last name Para. So 4 girls actually on their team with the last name Para. So pass ball gets away from Brown, and it skidding into second is going to be Para. Yeah, 4. Camila Para is the one Para not playing today for Piner. First runner in scoring position with 1 out for Piner. Is a high fastball. Ava Parra a little embarrassed that she swung at that. One was up over her head.
That was a pretty nasty rise ball there. That was kind of different than the ones we've seen so far today. Maybe that was because that was off of more of a lower fastball. But that one really just kept going and almost sailed on Allen, but it got the job done.
And that one foul, popped up, stays fair, and it'll be caught by Brown. 2 outs. 2 down now. So staying consistent, unfortunately, for Piner has been this consistency to get on base with the first at bat and then go down quickly after.
Well, what we saw in that first at bat, worked the count a little bit, had a really good at bat. And these last two, we've seen more aggressive first pitch swings, which is versus a pitcher like Allen. Sometimes it's good to see these pitches and pick up that speeds from somewhere that's not in the on-deck circle. So it's been kind of hit or miss for these Piner hitters so far, but I think when they're able to work counts, it's good, and hopefully they can do that here and drive this run in from second.
Cambria Wirtz in at the plate. She pops one up. It's in shallow left field. It's going to drop down. And in a pickle now, run comes to home to score. So the first run of the ball game, and a throw down to first is offline. It'll go away, nestle up against the fence, and coming through clutch when her team needed it. Cambria Wirtz, coming through clutch. Piner up 1-0 on a great piece of hitting.
Well, good things happen when you put the ball in play. That was a really simple swing there. Just saw almost like a little bit of a flick of the wrist, took that inside pitch, drove it the other way. Perfect in the situation with a runner in scoring position on second. And in this game, that could be a massive run with the way the pitching is going so far.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if there is a little bit of a breakup there. Yeah, no, that was interesting play. We're kind of situated where finding left field is kind of hard. We're nestled up against the home team dugout here at Healdsburg High School. So that ball was popped up into left field. The shortstop went after it, and it dropped in between the shortstop and left fielder in shallow left field as that pitch goes in for a swinging strike. 1-2 now to Olivares. She waits. The pitch fouled off. Battling here. But yeah, that was interesting to watch as it dropped down there, and they elected to go to second instead of coming home. And they got Wirtz in a run down there, and then the second baseman overthrew the first baseman. Wirtz got into second, and Piner is up 1-0. Pitch, and Olivares struck her out looking, but the damage is done as Piner gets a run across. 1-0 Piner as we'll head to the top of the fifth. Ukiah looking to hit. We'll be back. So we're back here, top of inning number 5 here at Healdsburg High School. Beautiful day for some softball. Mambrila heads back out to the mound. She will face the bottom half, 7, 8, 9 of Ukiah's order. She has retired them in order since facing the top of the order in the top of inning number 3. So top of inning number 5, she comes in, she points. Her first pitch to James is hit. Pop up, and it'll get down in deep third, and cruising into first with a leadoff single is Tatiana James.
Well, I think one of the issues so far for Ukiah is that they've been putting themselves in these counts where they're down 0-2, down 1-2, and they have kind of just been defensive on the offensive side of the ball. So trying to attack the first pitch and get that first pitch rise ball, which has been pretty common we've seen from both pitchers so far today, is a good approach.
Mackenzie Roberts now at the plate for Ukiah, the senior, trying to keep her season. They will keep their season going, just trying to get another home game regardless of this finish. Here's the pitch. That one is up high. Ball one. Roberts, lefty, got an interesting approach when she goes to hit after this pitch. Get Julian analyze it. Kind of analyze that, Julian. It's definitely different from what we've seen.
It's almost like a sway to get all that weight into her back hip when Para is loading. She goes forward when Para goes back, and then when Para is about to come through with the pitch, she loads and drives all the way back and tries to almost distribute her weight all the way to her backside to put some power into the ball.
2-2 here to Membrilla. Packed house here in Healdsburg, California. Membrilla, the point. She comes center. The pitch. Swing, and it's fouled off. She's up there in her pitch count now, 66 pitches. 2-2 after the foul tip.
You know, even though it's an interesting approach that we don't see very often, one thing that can help with is really staying back on pitches, especially with a pitcher like Para that's using that off speed a lot off of the rise ball. Being able to sit back in that back leg is important.
She fouls that one back towards us, and that is going to rest itself against and then under a truck. We hope that didn't dent it.
Do major damage.
Yep, that was a little scary. And I originally parked over there and immediately moved my car, and I recognized it. Membrilla into her windup. The pitch struck her out. And throw down to first is not needed. So 7 strikeouts, cruising on the day for Milan Membrilla. Now, Addie Barsh comes to the plate. The 9-hitter, she grounded to first her last time up. 1-0, Piner leads, 1 out, runner on first for the Wildcats. We're not near now or never time yet, but if you are the Wildcats, the way Membrilla's been pitching, you got to think it's something like that.
It's a good time to try and work some counts, especially with the pitch count getting up there, and try and elevate something, try and drive something into the gap, elevate, and put a good swing on the ball, put a good barrel on the ball.
Here we go, Barsh trying to get that barrel. The pitch, low. Membrilla keeping it going here. 2-1, not shown any signs of fatigue just yet. Points in. The runner checks away at first. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2.
It's important to note the misses that we've seen from Membrilla so far have not been significant at all. They're either just off the plate, just in, just high. So for the Ukiah hitters, it's hard for them to have a solid approach here and have great plate discipline because these pitches are very similar, and it gets to a point where she's hitting so many spots when they're not swinging that they feel like they're forced to swing. And especially when they're putting themselves in these tough 1-2, 0-2 counts, it makes it an even tougher at bat up there than it already was.
Pitch out results in ball 3. 3-2 now. Membrilla, the pitch fouled, popped up. Shortstop makes the catch, throw on to first, double play. Piner out of the inning. And they are hyped back to their dugout. Prospectors lead it 1-0 as we head to inning number 6. Stay with us here. All right, we're back here. Tabarez will lead things off. First baseman. Clark back into her 6th inning of work. And a total pitcher's duel here in the circles. It's the bottom half of the lineup. The 8 and 9 hitters do for Piner. Pitch, that one is in the dirt. Ball 1. Last time she was up, she struck out looking. That was in inning number 2.
That was the first drop ball off-speed-esque type pitch we've seen from Allen in a few innings. It's been interesting. She's kind of just been using that rise ball to locate it in different spots, go to the top and the bottom of the zone. But we haven't seen that off-speed too much so far.
Yeah, Allen, that pitch is fouled off by Tabarez. So it's 1-1 now. Bottom half inning number 5, not number 6. But making good time so far. Here's the pitch. That one is outside to kind of illustrate the time that we're making. Windsor just showed up, so their coaches have been here the entire game, but Windsor's players just started showing up right now. So, that is that is a good sighting of, this game is going by pretty quickly. We've just crossed over the hour time constraint. As that pitch is in the dirt. 3-1 buffet count to Olivares. Here we go. The pitch. Swing and hit on the ground. Third baseman charges it. Throw to first is in time for the outs. And 1 down now.
Allen did a really good job there coming back in that bat. You could kind of see her, she's been struggling a little bit with command today. She goes down 3-1 in that at bat. You could see a little bit of frustration in the circle. Being able to locate that outside rise ball or kind of fastball type pitch and get a ground ball was a really vital piece there, especially to build her confidence in this game so far.
Yeah, the question is, how long will she go further as that pitch is in the dirt for a ball? She's currently at 74 pitches, approaching 75 right now, and most of the times, from what I saw at least, in looking at their box scores, they only had Allen go 5 innings, but if you think about it, you don't have another game until Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on the division you are in. Maybe let her go the distance, keep this thing a 1-run game, and get your bats back up there, try and make some things happen. Still 1-0 here. Piner leads 1-1 count to Tomorrow. She lines that one, and the shortstop makes the catch. Was comparatively to the Fernando catch made by Fernando Tatis back in 2023. Just a line drive, and the hopes were killed immediately by the shortstop, Rosario. A nice catch for her. Looks like a perfect.
It's always good to see the crowd into the game. Every time a crowd's really into the game, even when the batter just made contact, there's always that split second where everybody has hope that the ball's going to get down, especially if it's hit hard. And that was a good example of that there.
Now the top of the order due up for Piner. It's going to be Sanchez here to try and start some things, start a 2-out rally. But we are here in inning number 5, still 1-0. Not many rallies as Sanchez grounds that one back to Allen. She throws on to first. 3 up, 3 down. Ukiah trying to get their bats going. Go back into the dugout. We'll head to the top of the 6th. It is a deadlock here that has only been broken by one team. 1-0 is your score. We'll be right back. We're back here. Membrila back into her 6th inning of work. Just been electric, only 73 pitches today.
Yeah, we didn't really see an off-speed pitch last inning, so that really just shows she's just been attacking the zone. And while you do that, while you're hitting your spots, that's just gonna really put you in a really good position in the circle, give you an ideal pitch count to be able to go the distance in your game.
Yeah, she's definitely focused on that. As retired the Ukiah batters in order the last 3 innings. Excuse me, yeah, the last 3 innings. So she goes into her 6th inning of work. Got Rosario at the plate, top of the order. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Blows the fastball right past her. A little boost of confidence there for Membrila.
Definitely a presence on the mound right now, and the Ukiah fielders hitters can feel it in the batter's box.
Yeah, that point can really intimidate you as a hitter. She's got very intimidating windup. Swing and a miss. Another rise ball blown past her. 2 strikes. No, or 2 strikes, 1 ball to Rosario. Struck out her last 2 times up. Not trying for a hat trick here. Membrila looking for strikeout number 8. The pitch. Swing, and that one is foul tipped in the air. Membrila charges all the way to the backstop, but it drops. That was a good effort, but unfortunately, she does not get the ball.
If Ukiah is going to make a comeback in this game, they're not down by too much, but still be considered a comeback. It's going to be really important that they work on their pitch selection. Rosario noticed on the 1-2 pitch before that she chased the pitch a little bit high. On that one, she had a better choice of swinging on that rise ball, which kind of landed towards the middle of the zone, and she was able to put a solid swing on it. Even though she fouled it back, they're starting to recognize that they need to be a little bit more disciplined at the plate.
Yeah, that one was fouled off back towards us, landed on the easy up. If it was not on if the easy up wasn't here, that would have been a little interesting.
A little destructive potentially.
As there's a pitch, that one's hit in the air into left field, and it's caught. Out number 2, Membrila. Out number 1, excuse me. Membrila still cruising on the mound.
That was a good job by Rosario putting a good swing on that rise ball, trying to elevate the ball high. But it's one of those swings, one of those at bats you have to go back to the dugout as a hitter and tell yourself, you really did all you could, because that was a great job of staying through the ball and almost getting on top of it there.
Here we go. 1 out. Membrila comes center. The pitch. And that one is up high. Ball 1. Top of inning number 6 here at Healdsburg High School. Pioneer leads Ukiah in the NBL Redwood Championship game. Look in, the point, the pitch. That one is in there. Called strike 2. Or strike 1, excuse me, 1-1. Here comes the pitch. That one low. Ball 2. 2-1 Membrila in the 80s now. We'll see if they let her go the distance. Obviously, softball doesn't take as much of a toll on your arm as baseball does. Here's the pitch. That one, she doesn't get the call. 3-1 now to Zoe Brown. Here's the 3-1. Brown awaits the pitch. Takes ball 4. So a walk for Zoe Brown. Now Tatiana James steps up to the plate. Grounded out to first in her second at bat. Her first at bat she struck out. Time being called by Ukiah. Talk to James. Try and get her back on track here. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Throw on to second is just short. Brown cruises in with a stolen base.
That was like a great job backing up there on second by Brianna Sanchez. If that ball gets into the outfield, that could be a run right there automatically and tie this ball game up. So that's a good job of being aware of the situation and making a nice play for your team.
Yeah, they've been doing that very consistently tonight, so good fundamental softball being played as that one's fouled off into the street.
I think that's something, especially in softball, that we've seen so far. These teams get so into this game and just wanting to do damage so quickly that we kind of see the fundamentals of softball kind of start to fade away a little bit, and that can sometimes be problematic for some of these teams.
Yeah, and there's strike number 2 on another foul tip. Would kind of be a bit of a suicide mission if they sent Brown to third, but the way the throws have been coming up short, I wouldn't be shocked in desperation time if they do. Here's the pitch. That one is low and inside 2-2.
I think it's a tough call if you're Ukiah because you have one out, you have a runner in scoring position, so you don't want to waste that runner. You don't want to waste that opportunity to drive the run in. But at the same time, it's go time now. It's time to be aggressive. So
it is go time. Membrila looks in. The pitch. Got her looking. Strikeout number 8. 2 outs now. Struck her out looking. That one is fouled off. Lead off now coming to the plate is Brown. Another Brown. This time it is Anne-Marie Brown. She is playing right field today. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Not a lot of offense in this game so far. Membrila fouled off. That one nearly landed in the bed of a moving truck out on the streets. See, this is where it's controversial to play the game at this field versus at the field across for Healdsburg, is that while you do have more sitting over here, the foul balls are more likely to hit a car. That one's hit large, far, deep, and it's going to get down out there. 1 run scores for Ukiah, and around the bend into second, cruising, tying this thing up is Anne-Marie Brown. What a big play for the Wildcats. We are tied on a double.
that was a really great swing. We've been kind of starting to see these Ukiah hitters pick up on that rise ball a little bit. And even though it was above the strike zone, great job of staying through it, pulling it. It was an inside pitch, absolutely driving it to the wall and bringing that run in. That's a big run for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 1-1 now the score. Allen at the plate now, trying to bring home the winning run. She grounds it to second. Throw on to first is in time, so Piner gets out of the inning. We'll head to inning number 6. It is 1-1. We have a ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to go away. We're back here. Crowd getting fiery as Piner with the heart of their lineup due up. 2-3-4. Naya Para at the plate. She takes ball one low. 1-1 is your score. Tied ball game here in the bottom of inning number 6. Both pitchers have been very frugal in giving up runs. Another pitch outside. Kind of a tale of who will buckle first. Membrila through 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Clark threw 5 whole, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Ground ball, high chopper to the shortstop, throw on to first in time for out number 1.
That was a really great job by Lyra Rosario at short, staying with that ball. Hopped over the pitcher, Allen, kind of took a weird hop, maybe hit a little bit of a pebble there. She stayed down, stayed with it, made a solid throw to first for the out.
The senior Bella Para coming in here. She's 1 for 1, a walk and a base hit. She ended up coming around to score the game-leading run. Wonder how much turnaround time we'll have for this game. Currently it is 5:50. There's a fly ball into center field, and the center fielder comes up, makes the catch. 2 down. Now, another I'll do it myself moment here. And it is now Milan Membrila at the plate, the righty, a pitcher. As that first pitch is in the dirt. Membrila trying to make her presence known if she already has it in the circle. The pitch, that one is in there on the outside part of the plate, strike 1.
It's a really great spot on the outside corner, and that's where Allen has been dominant today. When she's able to hit that low in the outside corner, she's been getting soft contact, and she's caught some hitters looking, and that's where she's really been successful.
1-1, that one's popped up, shallow infield, first baseman over on it. She'll make the catch, 3 up, 3 down, Ukiah. Now we go to the 7th as the Wildcats will look to get things going and take a lead, try and put things away here. But it's still 1-1, you do not want to go away. We're back for inning number 7 here. It's been quite the game. Currently 1-1 in the top of inning number 7. And it's going to be Kaloni Brown leading things off for the Wildcats. The catcher coming to the plate. Brown gets set. Membrila into her 7th inning of work. The pitch, rise ball, fouled off. It's straight down. Wind still blowing in here from Healdsburg, California. Left field. Blowing in, that could impact the power hitting of Cardinal Newman later today. Here's the pitch. Now it appears to actually be blowing in from right field. That one's fouled off. Membrila Into another inning of work. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck. Nope, that's 2 strikes. 1-2 now. Thought there were 2 foul balls there, but I guess not. 1-2. The count to Brown. Mambrila comes center. Looking for strikeout number 10. The windup. The pitch. Rise ball hit hard. Foul. And towards the bus of the Ukiah players out in left field.
Well, 3 out of the 4 pitches we've seen so far have been rise balls in this at-bat, and it kind of looks like Ukiah is starting to pick up on that a little bit, so we'll see if we get some sort of different type of look here.
And it's another rise ball, and early on it again, hit towards the bus and onto the bus again from Ukiah. It's crossing over an hour and 23 minutes. Ball is hammered. Now we need a new ball. So, yeah, I mean, you look at it, if she can't go to the drop ball, the rise ball is the best she's got. And as you're seeing from Kaloni Brown, Ukiah is on it, and they're early.
You know, in some instances, too, though, you don't even necessarily need to go to the drop ball. It's just about putting it in a different spot. Most of these rise balls have been high and in, and you mentioned she was early on that one. They're pulling it. Even if you locate that on the lower third outside part of the plate, that's just a different look right there. Changes eye level. That's a great pitch as well.
Here's the pitch. Another rise ball, another pulled on foul ball. That one will actually stay in the stadium. Everyone checking on their cars, making sure no one gets hit.
I will say, though, despite the fact that Ukiah is on the rise balls, Mambrilla is still going straight at them, attacking with that rise ball, even though they're kind of starting to pick it up.
Here we go. Here's the pitch. Another rise ball, and that one's foul tipped into foul territory over near the dugout, and it hits the top of the dugout. Brown keeping things alive here. 1-2 has been the count the last 3 pitches. Here we go. Mambrila looks in, collects. Here's the pitch. Call given to her. She got it. Struck her out on the fastball at the knees. Great pitch there. Gets her. 1 down.
It's really just a phenomenal spot. You know, a few extra pitches with that rise ball in that same location, but a good job of recognizing that they were starting to kind of read that spot and putting it in a different location.
And here we go. It is going to be James, and she drives one into left field. It'll get down, throw into second, catches James off guard, and she retreats back to first, but it's a single nevertheless for Ukiah, and their offense is in business. There you go. It's going to be Roberts coming to the plate. The lefty, the bottom of this Ukiah order. She's struck out in her last 2 at-bats. James has had a perfect game so far for Ukiah. 3 at-bats, 3 for 3 for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. Swing, and that one is a chopper. Second baseman boots it. And the runner cruises into first safely. Runners on first and second after the air. Rosario now to the plate. The leadoff hitter, she's 0 for 3, or excuse me, not Rosario. This is actually Addie Barsh. She grounded out to first and line drive into a double play. Here's the pitch. She hits a pop-up. It's going to get down. They'll tag second for out number 2, excuse me. And the runner cruises into first safely. So fielder's choice now. Runners on first and third.
That was a great job by Mambrilla coming back and just attacking after that error. You know, some pitchers will try to be a little bit too careful, and that can lead to just missing spots when you're not fully in that attack mode. So coming back with that rise ball, high in the zone, getting that ground ball on a high pitch, which we kind of haven't seen too much all day, was really important in that situation.
And here we go. Getting ready. Here's the pitch. She pops that one. Over on it is the second baseman. She makes the catch, and Piner gets out of it. The Prospectors escape the jam, and it is 1-1 as we head to our last part of the inning in regulation. Stay with us. All right, we're back here. And it is the 5-6-7 duo, Para, Wirtz, and Olivares. Wirtz brought home the run back in inning number 4. And she is looking to come back big for Piner here. 1 run wins it for the Prospectors. Para takes outside on pitch number 1 from Allen. Both pitchers, one pitcher has gone the distance. Allen now trying to do the same. Here's the pitch. That one is low, 2-0.
Well, despite the situation already being elevated, being in the bottom of the 7th in general, these are really big at-bats, especially for this latter part of the Piner lineup, because if they're able to find their way on, whether it's via walk or a base hit, and get on for that top of the order, that might be a great way for them to be able to seal this game.
3-0 now to Para. Ava Para facing off against Allen. Taylor Allen looks in, the pitch. Strike, gets the call in there on the outside half of the plate. Both Newman and Windsor getting ready to play here at 7. Here we go, the pitch. Line drive, that one is into the gap. That'll get down, running towards is the right fielder, and they call time as it gets into the grass out there, and a runner checks in to second with a double.
That was just an absolutely phenomenal swing, right? She gets herself into that buffet count, like let's call it 3-1, gets the rise ball right down the middle, drives it the other way, inside out swing path, stays through the ball, leadoff double. That is massive for Piner.
Yes, overly massive now as they have the girl who brought home the game-leading run originally, Wirtz at the plate. Here's the pitch, a bunt. They'll throw to third on it. She is safe, back into the bag. Wirtz goes to second, and she is gonna check in there safely too. Piner fans are going absolutely bananas right now, Julian. Runners in scoring position. A mound meeting now for the Wildcats. And now Piner just 40 feet away from taking this outright NBL Redwood championship.
I mean, we saw in the 5th inning and we saw in the 6th inning, a leadoff hit of any sort, a leadoff runner on base can really boost the confidence for a team, get the fans in the game, create a great atmosphere overall. That's what happened here. Now it's starting to get a little bit out of control for Ukiah, which is what Piner wants, and they've put themselves in a really good position to win this ball game.
Yeah, they're going to keep Allen out there and trying to bear down. This is where you need your freshmen to come in clutch. Corner infielders playing close. aware of a bunt. Olivares at the plate. Clark at the belt. Clark in the windup. Olivares. She looks in. Here comes the pitch. That one is in the dirt. Great job by the catcher to keep it there. As a pass ball, most likely is a winning run for Piner. Again, ladies and gentlemen, coming up at 7 p.m., we will have coverage of the NBL Oak Championship game between Cardinal Newman and Windsor. Here's the pitch. That one in there, outside, called ball, 2-1 now to Olivares.
You know, Allen does have a base to play with here, so she doesn't necessarily have to give in, even though it's 2-1. Still would be ideal to get out with the infield in.
Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if you're incurring buffering right now. We're kind of not in the best of service areas in Healdsburg, but we're making it work. Here we go. Here's the pitch. That one is low. 3-1 now. Anything will work. A fly ball is a winning run. A ground ball, unless they come home, is most likely a winning run. Bottom of the 7th inning. Biggest at-bat of her life. The pitch, low and in the dirt, loaded bases. No outs here. Here we go. There's going to be a mound visit, and we might have a pitching change from Ukiah, but most likely, you know, at this point, Julian, you've got loaded bases, which is good for Ukiah in the sense that they can come home for a force. What are you telling your freshman pitcher out there if you're the coach?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is at this point, she's carried them this far throughout the game. She's only given up 1 run. She has to have some sort of confidence that she can do this, and I know all her teammates do and their coaches do, and the coach is really just trying to instill the value of confidence in her, know that she can get out of it, allow her defense to make plays behind her, and allow her to just relax and execute her pitches.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if you're incurring any technical difficulties right now. Just trying to keep the Wi-Fi going here at Healdsburg High. Here we go. First pitch in from Allen is ball 1. Tabares at the plate. Eliana Tabares, the freshman. Biggest at-bat of her high school career. And she fouls. It's over on it as the catcher. She makes the catch, 1 out. So now still a low chance, but a chance nevertheless for the Wildcats to get out of it.
I mean, that's massive if you're Ukiah, because now if you get a ball on the ground, you give your defense an opportunity to make a play, especially with the infield in. Home to first, is now in play, and that would get Ukiah out of this.
Genevieve DeMauro at the plate. Ball 1 in the dirt to her. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Olivares swings through that. A pitch 100 coming up for Allen. DeMauro at the plate. The pitch outside. Great take there. Keyholed that one. Bases loaded for Piner. NBL Redwood championship game on the line. 1 run wins it for the Prospectors here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Swing. Line drive. Ball game. Piner wins it. Piner wins the outright championship. 2-1, the Prospectors do it in walk-off fashion. Oh my goodness, Julian. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Absolutely phenomenal job. We talked about it all game. Working counts was going to be important. They worked counts all in that last inning. They had great at-bats the whole time. Stayed through the ball, drove the ball in that last at-bat there. Got a perfect pitch to hit. A walk-off line drive. It's what you love to see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it. Your NBL Redwood champions are your Piner Prospectors. Both the Prospectors and Wildcats move on to attack playoffs until next week, and we'll see their seedings on Sunday. We wish them luck with the rest of their seasons. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Again, coming up at 7 o'clock, Newman and Windsor face off for the Oak Championship. From Healdsburg, California, I've been Hugo Traverso, joined by Julian Corey. Piner wins it in walk-off fashion. Genevieve DeMauro comes through. Thank you. Adios.